Creating your dream life doesn't happen by accident. It happens by decision, discipline, and devotion to your future self. Hi, I'm Rae Lux. Years ago, I was stuck in a cycle of doing what looked good on paper, but not what truly fulfilled me. I looked successful, but inside, I knew I was settling, and I just couldn't do it anymore. I made a decision to stop living by default and start living by design. I wasn't waiting for someone to hand me the permission slip. I gave it to myself. That moment of reclaiming authorship over my story changed everything. In this video, I'm going to share the mindset shifts, life upgrades, and non-negotiable principles that helped me completely reinvent myself and build the life I used to daydream about. Let's begin. The first thing I had to do was get brutally clear about what I actually wanted. Not what was safe, not what was realistic, what I truly desired. I sat down with my journal and asked myself questions I had been avoiding. What would my dream day look like? Who would I be surrounded by? How much freedom would I have? How would I feel waking up every day? Once I had the answers, I created a vision board. Not to be trendy, but to train my subconscious. I printed images of elegant spaces, thriving relationships, luxury travel, balance, purpose-driven work, and emotional peace. I taped it to my wall, made it my phone background, and kept a copy in my planner. That vision board reminded me daily that the life I wanted already existed. I just had to become the woman capable of living it. Clarity creates direction, and once I had direction, I could start walking with confidence, even when the path wasn't fully visible yet. This brings me to one of the most powerful principles I live by. Be, doctor, have. So many people wait until they have the thing to feel worthy of being the person, but that's backwards. You have to be her now. I asked myself, what would the future version of Rae Lux do? She would wake up early. She would protect her energy. She would invest in herself. She would show up consistently. So I did. I became disciplined about my habits. I tracked my time. I replaced mindless scrolling with intentional learning. I practiced speaking, writing, leading. I didn't wait to be qualified. I acted like I already was. Over time, my energy shifted. My posture shifted. My decisions became more aligned. I wasn't chasing success. I was embodying it. Becoming her wasn't a costume. It was a commitment. I stopped asking for permission to rise and started showing up as if I already belonged there. Next, I got practical. I calculated the actual cost of my dream life. I listed every category: housing, travel, wellness, giving, saving, investing, mentoring, and leisure. Then I researched the costs. No fluff, just facts. When I totaled the number, it wasn't just about money anymore. It was about freedom. I realized I didn't need to wait for some magical breakthrough. I needed a strategy. This number gave me a target. It made things measurable. And that clarity gave me the courage to take bolder financial steps, like increasing my rates, learning sales, and building digital income streams. Not to chase money, but to build the infrastructure for the life I wanted. Knowing the numbers removed emotion from the equation. It wasn't about fear or fantasy. It became math, and math can be solved. The world rewards value. So I committed to becoming more valuable. Instead of looking for shortcuts, I looked for mastery. I honed in on a few core skills: strategy, communication, personal branding, systems, and I worked on them daily. I invested in courses, mentors, masterminds, and experiences that stretched me. I also became solution-oriented. I stopped asking, what's the fastest way to make money? And started asking, what problem can I solve that I care about? That mindset shifted everything. I went from side hustles to sustainable, soul-aligned business, and I started building a community around shared values, not just transactions. When you stop trying to be impressive and start focusing on impact, you become magnetic. Adding value became my compass. If something didn't add value to me or others, I stopped giving it my energy. The dream life requires sacrifices, but not in the way most people think. It's not about hustle till you burn out. It's about letting go of what drains you, distracts you, or dilutes your focus. I gave up late nights, toxic friendships, comfort food binges, and numbing habits. I replaced them with habits that nourished me. Early mornings, hydration, movement, reading, journaling, silence. At one point, I made a personal 30-day challenge. No alcohol, daily movement, 10 pages a day, digital detox nights, and gratitude journaling. That one decision created momentum I never lost. The key is consistency. Micro habits compound. The woman I wanted to become wasn't built in one weekend. She was built brick by brick, choice by choice. And here's the truth. Sacrifice isn't punishment, it's preparation. I wasn't losing freedom. I was earning alignment. You can't become your highest self in the same environment that made you settle. So I changed mine, physically and digitally. I cleaned out my space. I unfollowed accounts that triggered comparison. I joined rooms, online and in person, where I was the smallest fish. Instead of surrounding myself with people who validated my excuses, I sought out people who challenged my potential. And yes, it got lonely. There were weeks where I felt isolated, but that space created silence. And in that silence, I found clarity. The version of you who's thriving. She exists in a new environment. Go there, even if you go alone at first. When you upgrade your space, you upgrade your standards. Your surroundings will always mirror your self-worth. This isn't about surface-level glow-ups. It's about internal rewiring. I did the inner work. I faced childhood beliefs about money, worth, success, and identity. I invested in therapy. I rewrote my core beliefs. I started speaking to myself with love, power, and accountability. I stopped asking, why haven't I made it yet? And started asking, what's still unhealed in me that's repelling the life I want? That shift from external hustle to internal alignment changed everything. You don't get the dream life by doing more. You get it by becoming more. Healing became my strategy. The stronger my foundation, the higher I could rise. Every month, I take myself on a CEO date. I audit everything. Is my schedule aligned? Am I still inspired? Where am I leaking energy? Who am I becoming? Self-reflection became my GPS. Not self-judgment, just radical responsibility. I started to see myself as a business. If I were my own brand manager, would I be proud of how I'm showing up, or would I fire myself? These check-ins kept me honest. They made sure I wasn't just building a busy life, but an aligned one. Reflection gave me rhythm. It turned random efforts into intentional momentum. And that consistency is what builds legacy. Your dream life is already yours. You just haven't stepped into it yet. It's not about perfection. It's about becoming the woman who knows what she wants, believes she deserves it, and refuses to settle. I'm not special. I'm just committed. Committed to becoming more, to living deeper, to dreaming louder. And now it's your turn. If you're ready to step into your power, your peace, and your purpose, subscribe. This is your space. This is your time. With love, Rae Lux.